The sport of log rolling, or burling as it is sometimes called, grew out of one of the most dangerous jobs mortal man ever tackled, the job of getting the logs from the forest to the sawmill. The usual way was to roll them into a river, thousands upon thousands of them, and let them float downstream. Now and then these logs would jam in a narrow part of the river. It was then up to the lumberjack to skip out over the logs with 4 or 5 sticks of dynamite tied to a long pole, find an opening, ram the dynamite way under the logs, set the charge and race back out of danger. Then, with a mighty roar, the jam would loosen and go thundering downstream. Log rolling is the recreation of daring men, descendants of the legendary Paul Bunyan, whose giant figure looms in the background of this traditional tournament. Informal contests have always been common in lumber camps, but the standardized rules and annual competitions established by the Roleo Association have invested the game with the dignity of other amateur sports. The game requires 2 contestants, usually fully clothed and wearing steel spiked boots. They stand on either end of a free log. One or the other starts to twirl the log, and his opponent keeps pace. Faster and faster it goes, spun by the heavy spiked boots, reversing its spin now and then as one contestant takes it away from the other, until one loses his footing and tumbles into the drink. A little entertainment is enjoyed by the crowd before the opening of the World's Championship Log Rolling Contest, held at Escanaba, Michigan. Bill Beauregard of Odanak Indian Reservation plays leapfrog on a pitching rolling log. He has been on logging river drives for 44 years and is still an expert log roller. If you're thinking of taking up log rolling, here is something you might start with. Step through a hoop while rolling a log. Frank Marchand of Poquet, Minnesota shows you how it's done. After a few lessons, try this one. Frank Marchand proves a good log roller always has good balance. Here's something a boxer might try to improve his training. Frank seems to be better at log rolling than at skipping a rope. As a final jest, Wilbur Marks gets aboard a log, dressed in a Mother Hubbard gown, which he attempts to strip off while maintaining his balance on the contrary log. The great match is on. James Running of Eau Claire, Wisconsin, and Harley Forster of Junction City, Washington, stage a fast and furious battle in the semifinals. They start slowly, feeling one another out. Running wears the checkered shirt. He's putting up a great battle, but Forster's superior skill and stamina proved too good. Jimmy Johnson in white and Elmer Swanson, who have already lost out in elimination contests for the championship finals, compete in a consolation prize. They're good, but not quite good enough. Now for the finals in this great event. Jimmy Heron of Kelso, Washington, and Harley Forster compete for World's Championship honors. Here's the tops in log rolling. And this is the king, Jimmy Heron, receiving the silver cup, emblem of the world's champion log roller. But that's not all, folks. The queen of the Lumberjills still has to be crowned. Yes, believe it or not, lady log rollers. And believe me, they are good. Here are Miss Arbutus Wilson of Ladysmith, Wisconsin, and Marietta Phipps, also of Ladysmith, rolling it out in the semifinals. Miss Phipps proves the better by dumping Miss Wilson 2 times out of 3. And now for the final match for the ladies' championship between Miss Mary Mallett of Bloomer, Wisconsin, in figured costume, and Miss Sylvia Winters of Astoria, Oregon. Dumping her opponent for the second time, Miss Mallett overjoyed by her victory, dives gracefully into the tank. And here she is, proudly receiving the silver cup from Bill Duquesne of the Roleo Association. The referee always seems to get the worst of it. The log rollers throw referee Sheridan into the tank as a farewell gesture to the world's champion log rolling contest.